Let's build a solid 300 Win Mag load.
I filmed that intro back when I thought things were going to be easy. But let me bring you up on my load development. What I did was I bought a Browning X-Bolt Western Hunter in 300 Win Mag. I topped it off with a Vortex Viper HST 4x16x44 scope, and I used worn rings and worn mounts. My goal was to build up a good all-around load for elk, mule deer, or whitetail. I wanted a stable hunting round which held 1 MOA or better consistently. I figured with reloading components being so expensive, I'd just use what I have on hand. I had some Ramshot Magnum powder, some IMR 4350 as well, various Nosler bullets, and also some Berger bullets. I decided to use the optimal charge weight method and load up various powder charges of the Ramshot Magnum powder with the Nosler Expansion E-tip bullets. That's a monolithic bullet, and I was using 180 grain. And I went out to the range and I started shooting. And these were my results. Possibly the worst grouping, the worst shooting I've ever had in any gun that I've ever shot in my entire lifetime. The first thing I did was check the mechanical things. I verified that the scope mount was tight, that the scope base was tight. I checked that the barrel was free floating. Those all checked out. I even eventually switched scopes just to make sure I didn't have a bad scope. All those checked out okay. I still kept getting the same awful results. To make a long story short, I exhausted a few other more avenues. I used some different bullets. I even brought Anthony into the mix. I had him shoot the gun. I also compared my rounds into his gun, and we deduced that it was simply the powder that was just not working in my gun. The Ramshot Magnum powder was extremely inconsistent. I don't know what that's like with anyone else's guns, but I found out it just did not work for me. So I took Anthony's advice. He said, "Dad, just go back to the drawing board. You're going down a rabbit hole. Start fresh, start from the beginning." So that's what I decided to do. So after several months, I finally made it back out to the range. As you can see, it's actually taken me so long that they rebuilt the range. This is Scotia Range in Center County. They separated the 100-yard range from the 200-yard range, have up these nice divider walls for safety. I highly suggest you come check it out if you live nearby. So for this range session, I decided to use the data from the Berger Bullets Reloading Handbook. I used Hodgdon H1000 powder. That was a more time-tested 300 Win Mag powder. I decided to use the optimal charge weight method again and shoot my groups between 73 to 75.5 grains. I also used the Berger 210 VDL hunting bullet, Federal 210 primers, which is a non-magnum primer, and I also got a new load of brass. I did size it, but it was brand new brass. So in shooting my 6 3-shot groups, I try to remain as consistent as possible. I started out with shooting a 3-shot group that was just a practice group. I used it to sight in and also be a fowler for the barrel. And then I went on and I followed a pattern of waiting 5 minutes, shooting a group, waiting 5 minutes, shooting a group. And that's how I tried to keep the barrel from overheating. And here is my completed target. As you can see, the gun grouped much better with the H1000 powder. I'm pretty happy with the first 3 targets, the top 3 targets. It seems to show some consistency there with impacting in around the 7 o'clock area on the target. At this point, I'm going to move on to some bullet seat adjustments, and I'll shoot the OCW method again. I'm going to do that in another video though. We're going to end this one. I'll see you on part 2.